I expected to write one book like this. It was an adventure, it was a jeu d'esprit. And I thought once I'd finished it, that was it. But then I got interested in the characters. And here I am, 10 books later. Someone will have to stop me. I'm not being evasive. I wish I could answer the question. I don't know. I work in the dark. I don't know what I'm doing. I am in the state of a person who's sleeping and dreaming. I dream these books into existence. I never know what's going to come next. One of the books, I was within 2 pages at the end of the book. I still didn't know who had done the murder. It didn't matter very much anyway. So they are waking dreams. But fiction is a form of controlled dreaming. Oh, with all the novels. Yes, it's I've always been fascinated by the dream world. I mean, it's very strange. We walk through our days, and we deal with people, and then get into bed. There's a moment of darkness, and then suddenly it all starts up again, but in a fantastic form. You're meeting people, you're meeting Albert Einstein and having an interesting conversation with him. The devil comes and pokes you in the bum with his fork. It's an extraordinary thing. Then you wake in the morning and you think, oh, I have to start dealing with human beings again. I have to wake up in a way we don't ever wake up. This is a wonderful thing. I mean, people say to me, I don't dream. Everybody dreams. They don't remember their dreams. I would be horrified if I didn't remember my dreams. I just love them. You see, when you're asleep and when you're dreaming, it's pure imagination. There are no controls. There's nobody saying to you, you must drive on the left-hand side of the road. You must not kill people. You must not fall in love with that woman. You must not. In your dreams, you can do anything. So the imagination is having it's the imagination purely at play. When I'm awake, I am very fortunate that I spend my life allowing my imagination to play as well. I'm sitting in a room writing, doesn't look very adventurous, but to me it's a world of magical imagination. It's the ordinary world I'm writing about. Mind you, there's no such thing as an ordinary world. The ordinary is extraordinary. I wish I could say that I have a program in life. I want to speak about child abuse in Ireland in the 1950s or Catholic Church. I have no interest in any of that. This is just material. What I want to do is make a book. And writers who talk about their mission in life, they're all lying. A real writer, a real artist doesn't care anything about anything except the work of art to make this thing. As I say, I would love to say, a mission in life. I haven't. The only mission in life I have is to make little works of art. Oh yes, this is what it is. It's the majority Catholic Ireland dealing with the minority Protestant Ireland. It's none of that. As I say, I wish I could say it was, but it's not. I just found it interesting to invent a character who is an impossibility. A person like Strafford, upper middle class Protestant, from landed gentry, there would be no possibility of him being a detective in the Irish police force in 1950. So he's a pure impossibility. I love working with pure impossibility. So I have no agenda, I have no message. Postmen deliver messages, I don't. In my life, as distinct from my life as a writer, in my life, I find women infinitely more interesting than men. I mean, nothing more boring than men. But women are always a surprise. Women are funny. They have a sense of the ridiculous. Women are far more aware of their physical selves than we are. They have much more going on in their bodies than we have. So they're much closer to the earth, but they're much closer to the imagination as well. I just find them. I don't think I've ever met a woman that I haven't fallen in love with. I meet an old lady in the street. I'm in love with her. I just find women. Of course, this is not politically correct to say this kind of thing nowadays, but this is how I feel. I just like women. And I find them, I suppose I find my women characters more interesting than men. But I'd never thought about it before. I'll have to think about it. Next time we meet, I'll give you a comprehensive answer. Oh, they're me. They're all me. I'm the only material I have to work with. So I invent my female characters out of me. But I probably have a very strong female side. I'm sure many of my men friends would say, yeah, you're practically a woman. When I said that, I thought I wouldn't live as long as I've lived. I thought I would at least have lost my faculties by now. But I'm still as bright as I was. I can still write a sentence. So I'll have to do... I have a novel coming out later in the year called Venetian Vespers, set in Venice in 1900. And I'm writing another novel. But I keep thinking that the novel I'm writing, it'll be published as a luminous, posthumous fragment, because I'll be gone. And there'll only be this little precious piece that I managed to get done before. That would be my ideal. Never be finished. Well, I think first of all, I have a superb editor, Maria Fassi, who has worked tirelessly for me. She's whipped in many journalists like you to say you have to come and interview him. I owe her a great deal. Somehow Spanish readers seem to find something in my books that the English-speaking world doesn't find. I mean, I've a far bigger reputation here than I have in Ireland, which is a bit ironic. But it's an odd phenomenon. I have a couple of friends. One friend has a huge reputation in Italy, another friend these are English language writers. And she has a huge reputation in Germany. Nobody can explain it. It may be all a horrible mistake, that you're misreading it. But I must tell you a story that when a book of mine was shortlisted for the Booker Prize, it's a big prize back in those days. And my wife said, "What? They must have misunderstood it." That's the kind of wife you need. Oh yes, I think that is. The Irish past and the Spanish past have many things in common. A terrible civil war, Catholic Church, a dictator. We had a dictator as well. But I wonder if readers, well, I suppose they feel it at some deep, visceral level. I don't know. I think it must be because my books are so full of sunshine and joy and bullfighting that the Spanish love them. That's a joke. That's a joke. That's a joke. Don't do that. Well, the first book that I would pick is Catechism of the Catholic Church, which was forced upon us when we were 7 years old. And they told us things about simony and the difference between lust and concupiscence. These are things a 7-year-old needs to know. This is a very great influence on me. A bad, malign influence, but it was influential. When I was 12, my sister gave me James Joyce's Dubliners. I discovered that fiction, that art could be about life as I knew it, not just about, it wasn't a Wild West story or a detective story. This was about life itself. That was when I started to be a writer. As to books that are purely beautiful, Lolita, Nabokov's Lolita, which probably wouldn't be published now. It would be cancelled before it got past the publisher's reader. Very beautiful book. A dangerous book. But sentence by sentence, it's exquisite. And I would have to pick W.B. Yeats's, I think it was published in 1928, The Tower, which is the single greatest volume of poetry ever published. There are about 30 poems in it. They are all masterpieces. And I could not live without that book. That's a bit of an exaggeration, but a bit of hyperbole is allowed when one is talking about books that we love.